right, so I've done a couple of lessons on reggae grooves, rockers, steppers, one drop, given different types of fills. You can find all those on my channel. Now, this is going to be simply 3 fun reggae grooves, and I'm doing this so that it can expose you more to the reggae style and different drummers, different groups in that genre and that world styling. And so what I would encourage you to do, though, is to go look at the roots. Don't just use YouTube to hope that it teaches and hope it teaches you everything. You need to look at the Nyabingi ensembles. You need to look at early burrow drumming. You need to look at for Jamaican boogie and understand how that led into early ska, which led in. You know, you need to understand what a ska beat is, how it feels. So a lot of times these rhythms are deceptively simple, but what's hard is nailing the feel, and you only get that from listening. That's why I give you the artists and the drummers to go dig through and listen through, and the songs and the albums. Please download this stuff, look at it, watch it. The sheet music is also below in a pinned comment. There's some stuff in there that I actually don't even break out in this lesson, just some extra goodies. And as well, subscribe to the channel because there's tons of lessons coming every week. Let's jump on the drum set if I can keep from killing myself on these chords. Let's jump on the drum set and check these drum beats out. This is going to be a really fun lesson. So this is just 3 fun reggae grooves that will help expand your knowledge of the style. Go research, go listen to all the groups I'm talking about as well. Be sure and subscribe to the channel because I got tons of stuff coming. I don't want you to miss out on it. The sheet music is below in a pinned comment or in the video description, so go download that and use that to inform your research while you're looking at this style of music that's got such a rich heritage. This is 3 different songs, 3 different grooves from 3 different artists. Some you know, some you may not know, from 3 different drummers within the style. And so I find that's the best way to kind of really get a feel for the general style. Now, this first one is a variation of a stepper's groove. A really fun variation, and this song is Sinsemilla, and it's by the group Black Uhuru, and off of the same album, the same name, Sinsemilla, and I believe I'm saying that correctly. Pardon me if I'm murdering that word. I believe Sly Dunbar was the one that played on this album, from everything I could dig up, and it's really fun. So let's dig into the second measure first. All right, so let's look at the second measure. It's going to be 8 notes here on the hi-hat, and then we have 4 on the floor, 3 on the snare drum. So now we're going to keep that kick drum going, but in the verses, and again, this is near as I could tell, the sticking is near as I can tell. I looked at a bunch of live video from what I could see of the drummer and tried to kind of piece together exactly what was happening. Really hard to tell in the recording, but this is near as I can tell what's happening on the recording. That first measure, the really fun 16th note pattern. So 4 on the floor here, and then we have 16th note going in between the hi-hat and the snare drum. So the first beat is going to go 1 E and A. The snare notes are going to be softer than that hi-hat note. And then on beat 2, we have 2 on the kick drum, E and. Now you could play it all right here, but again, to get the feel from everything I can see from the live, it looks like there was a lot of alternating happening, okay? So beat 1, beat 2, then we have beat 3, and it's really going to repeat the pattern from beat 1. It's just going to offset it in the hands. And I'm going to play the sticking differently because it's more comfortable that way. So on beat 3, it's a kick drum on the downbeat, and then the E, 3, E, and A. Open the hi-hat on 4. Then we also play the upbeat here with a closed hi-hat, upbeat of 4, and then we have an accent on the of 4. So it goes. Now, this is a good bit faster than that, so let's get that up to tempo and see what that sounds like. Next, we've got Three Little Birds by Bob Marley, and obviously Carlton Barrett is on this track. It's a classic Marley track and one that I actually love the groove for this. It's a variation on the one drop. You can feel it in a couple of different ways. You can feel it in 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. However, I feel it in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay? So a lot of times when we notate things, it depends on the speed, the tempo, if it's too slow, if it's too fast, so we may notate a difference. So just know sometimes the notation is not exactly how it's felt. That's just the easiest way to notate it. So sometimes that's why you see a difference between that within especially this style reggae music. So we're starting here with 2 16th notes, or if you're feeling in double time, 2 8th notes. And if we're feeling it again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. The next one is going to be a rim click on 2. 1, 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. The next measure we have a quarter, or we have an 8th note. So 3, accent the and, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2. We get that up to full tempo. There's a couple of variations, but the one that I'll point out is in that second measure when we play that 8th note, we can play a rim click right after that. And that can be a variation. There's also another variation on the sheet music, so be sure and download that so you can check that variation out. Again, that link. This next one is one of my favorites. It's by Toots and the Maytals. It's called Pressure Drop, and this was actually voted by Rolling Stone as one of the 500 greatest songs of all time. It's like 453, 500 greatest songs of all time. It's a really great song, and I believe the drummer was Paul Douglas. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think that was the drummer. So my goal here is to give you several different groups, several different songs, several different grooves, several different drummers to check out and go study on, all right? So this one is fun, and the hi-hat pattern is really straight, so you can either feel it 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4 or 1. So you can feel it either way. I've written it in that double time, so it's gonna go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and it's a simple one drop, but we straightened it out. 1 and 2. And then he'll do some variations.
So there's the third groove, just really fun reggae groove. These are three just meant to be really fun. I've got some other ones, some essential reggae grooves that every drummer should know, steppers, rockers, and one drops. And so be sure and check out all of these drummers, all of these bands, and dive into the musical style of reggae. That's a really fun one as well. There's some other lessons on Stuart Copeland, who took it into the rock arena. And if you want to check out another drummer that took it into the rock arena, check out Topper Hedden. I've got a ton of lessons on the history of punk rock, and Topper was a big part of that, as well as Stewart was a part of that, because they kind of took some reggae roots, ska roots, and then brought it into what they did. So check out all that stuff. Download the sheet music. There's some stuff that I didn't talk about in the sheet music, some variations, things like that you'll enjoy checking out. Let me know below, what is your favorite reggae groove off of what song? I would love to check out what you guys have to say. As well, share this with somebody that you think it may help. As well, subscribe to the channel. Turn on those notifications, because I got a ton of new lessons and videos coming out every week. But whatever you do, I'll see you here in the next video.